All right, folks, we got weather to talk about in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup as the risk of severe storms moves a little farther back west into Texas tomorrow, meaning, yep, more y'all get to deal with storm chances. Let's talk about it in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Hi there, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It is Friday, the 17th of October, 2025. Thanks for popping on in for the latest Texas weather information. And, well, we actually do have some weather to talk about. Let's just get into it. We're going to start off with the severe weather outlook. For Saturday, the Storm Prediction Center highlighting the potential for isolated to scattered severe thunderstorms across North Texas, Northeast Texas, and East Texas. I know it's been a while since we've gotten to show one of these graphics in earnest, but with fall weather comes fall storms, and yeah, that means we have to deal with Mama Nature's temper tantrums once again. Now, we are looking at the potential for some strong to severe storms tomorrow afternoon and evening from about lunchtime on the western periphery of this risk area through about 9 p.m. as storms begin to move southeast and east out of Texas, or at least the most robust upper-level energy departs the region, and we have storms generally become a little more tame as a cold front moves southeast across the state of Texas, bringing a much drier air mass into the region. Now, storms tomorrow, the most intense, could produce hail up to the size of golf balls and localized damaging wind gusts to around 70 miles per hour. The overall tornado risk is very low. It's not zero, but it is on the very low side of the spaghetti-o risk spectrum. So, let's take a look now at the high-res rapid refresh model simulated weather radar. For today, we're going to have a few showers near the upper Texas Gulf Coast. Could have a couple lightning strikes with that activity as well, which would make them thunderstormies. Going into tonight and tomorrow morning, you can see we have storms increasing coverage, northwest Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, in spots. Most of that activity is expected to remain quite light, but maybe we'll get a few lucky folks get a few hundredths of an inch of rain. Otherwise, storms in the Oklahoma region early tomorrow morning. Going through lunchtime, we're going to see storms increase in both coverage and intensity across North Texas, Northeast Texas, and East Texas as a cool front moves from west to east, with some of those storms tomorrow afternoon being strong to severe across Northeast Texas, East Texas, Southeast Texas. You can see this is not going to be a long duration event. We're not going to have storms sitting in one spot very long. They are going to be moving. And they'll be moving themselves out of the state of Texas into Louisiana and Arkansas by late tomorrow afternoon and early Saturday evening, with the trailing cool front still making it off the coast of Texas into the Gulf by probably around midnight to 2 a.m. Sunday. So our most likely time frame for severe storms again tomorrow will be noon to 9 p.m. with hail and localized damaging winds possible. Tornado risk very low, but not completely zero. Really, this activity should be moving fast enough to keep the risk of flooding low outside of a quick round of probably some high water near curbs for like an hour after it rains in spots. Otherwise, you could see things clear out very quickly behind that cool front as northwesterly winds arrive, and some of those winds will be gusty out of the northwest tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night into Sunday, with wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour possible. Wildfire danger the next few days. We are looking at the potential of fires remaining moderate to high across a decent chunk of the state. Really, we're not dealing with a lot of the typical, wind-driven fire activity, stuff like that. We're in a flash drought. We have not had rain in a lot of spots in weeks. Things went from wet back in June and July to bone dry here in October. We've had temperatures remaining in the 80s and 90s, and that has just baked the surface fuels. A lot of things have become very dry, and with that, the energy release component and the ignition component are both high, so it's not that difficult to get roadside fire starts, and, well, then they go run through fields. So we'll have to remain mindful of that through the weekend, especially with some gusty north winds on Sunday across the state of Texas with a much drier air mass coming into play. Here's the upper level jet stream. Well, Here is the upper level jet stream. As we take a look at the European weather ensemble through next week, you could see the upper level high pressure we've had over Texas for weeks now shifts south into Mexico in the western Gulf, and that allows the jet stream to dip further south, which is how we're going to end up with storm chances tomorrow. Trailing cool front as that system departs. You can see that thing really amplifies across the eastern United States on Monday. Another quick moving system Tuesday into Wednesday that'll remain mostly north of Texas, but will allow a cool front to get pushed south into the state on Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing another round of less hot air. We're not dealing with any Arctic air mass at this point, mind you. We're just dealing with temperatures that get a little closer to normal for late October. In terms of rain chances, unfortunately, outside of tonight and tomorrow, it's just not looking good. Here's the European weather model taking us through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And guess what? Notice the lack of any sort of precipitation on this map? Yeah, it's kind of annoying, isn't it? In the sense of, we need some rain, but we're just not going to get it. This model does try to bring a few showers into West Texas Wednesday evening. Otherwise, after tomorrow's cool front and rain chances move out by early Sunday morning, dry weather across the majority of the state for the next 5 days. And with that, here's your forecast rain totals from the Weather Prediction Center taking us through Wednesday of next week. You can see, at least this map's a little more colorful now, since the system tomorrow has slowed down a bit and brought rain chances farther west into Texas. We're looking at 1/10 to 1/2 inch of rain possible. North Texas, Northeast Texas, East Texas, Southeast Texas, the Eastern Brazos Valley, Piney Woods of East Texas, the Toledo Bend Reservoir, the Golden Triangle. And again, this activity should be moving fast enough with that cool front to where we're not going to have any super high rain totals. The overall risk of flooding, very low with this system tomorrow. And then after that, again, it's looking dry for several days, just as we've seen now for the better part of 5 weeks. Temperatures today, well, guess what? No sign of a cool front yet, outside of maybe some 70s up in the Panhandle and the borderland of West Texas. Everyone else today, we're in the 80s and 90s. You think that's bad? Guess what? Here's tomorrow. We see compressional heating occur ahead of that cool front. Highs in the upper 90s in South Texas tomorrow. 97 in Laredo, 96 Del Rio, 97 in McAllen, 94 in San Antonio and Austin, 93 in Houston. I would not be surprised if we had a 99 to 100 degree temperature down in the Rio Grande Plains tomorrow. Otherwise, we're looking at 70s in the Panhandle, West Texas. On Sunday morning, guess what? Yeah, we're showing a low temperature graphic. Now, here's a sign of the cool front. How about a low of 36 up in Dalhart Sunday morning, 37 in Dumas. We may have some frost. 38 in Perryton, 40 in both Amarillo, Pampa, Canadian, down to Plainview, 44 in Lubbock, 53 in El Paso, with 50s northwestern half of Texas, and those will spread farther southeast as we go into Monday morning. Not the 30s, but 50s at least. Now, here's high temperatures on Sunday. You can see even with that cold start up in the Panhandle, we're still going to warm quite nicely with a very dry air mass in place and sunny skies. Highs back into the 70s, the northern half of Texas. Still 80s and, yes, 90s, southern half of Texas on Sunday. Back on Monday. Well, one side effect of the dry air mass is it can heat very efficiently, and with that, mid-90s. It's going to be hot Monday. It's going to be hot across a good chunk of the state. 95 in Abilene, 92 in DFW, 92 in Childress and Wichita Falls, about 92 in Odessa, Midland, 93 in San Angelo, 89 in Fredericksburg, 94 in San Antonio, 93 in Austin, about 89 to 90 in Houston, 98 in Laredo. And then on Tuesday, next cool front comes on in, back into the 60s and 70s for high temperatures, northern half of the state. Southern half of Texas, 90s to near 100 down in the Rio Grande Plains. Taking a look at the long-range outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, if you guessed warm, you guessed right, because guess what? No big signs of big-time cool weather yet. Keep in mind that we are getting into the latter half of October, so, above-average temperatures now are 80s and 90s. So that's why it looks like this, even with slightly less hot weather coming on in with some of these fronts. And the good news here is for precipitation. Well, with this, October 22nd through 26th, above average chances of rain. So maybe we will have to deal with some storms, at least maybe in the second half of next week. We'll see. So with that, that is our Texas Weather Roundup on this Friday. With active weather tomorrow, coinciding with the fact I have to move an apartment out tomorrow, we are going to have weather coverage this weekend, which means more weather videos. We'll be keeping a close eye on the forecast for tomorrow, which means, yeah, I'll have another video update for you by dinner time this evening, and we'll have more content tomorrow. We're going to have storm chasers out and about. I know meteorologist Jason Cooley will be out chasing, helping to bring you visuals of what the storms in Texas look like tomorrow, along with myself bringing you weather coverage surrounded by moving boxes. So that'll be fun, said no one ever. But with it being Friday, it is time to give a shout out to our Spinny Doomers here on the Texas Weather Center. All of y'all help us bring you Texas weather content, whether the weather is active or not. So thank you to Love, Live, Laugh, r/Tornado Chats, Justin S., Tanya McGee, J.A., S00 Patique, Paranoid Pocho, Nancy Rosenberg, Deanna, Anthony R. Pelosi Jr., Rascals ZX2, Donald Yellett, Christina West, Manda Cakes, Mike Rich, Knight Davis, Mandy Kim, and Wendy Hall. Thank you, everybody, for being Spinny Doomers here on the Texas Weather Center. And as always, you can help support us by just hitting that like button. That really helps us out here in the magical land of the YouTube algorithm. I know I hate it when creators ask me to do it, but, well, it's part of the game, and sometimes you just gotta play, even if you don't want to. So thank you very much. That's my one little marketing blip for today. You can always get your local weather forecast, by the way, in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app, no matter where you are in the country. And, of course, we'll be here on the Texas Storm Chasers as well to keep you updated with the latest Texas weather information. Y'all have an amazing Friday. We'll see you later. God bless.